Hi, hello, and howdy. My name is Erin of Essentially Erin, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an updated styling routine. I've had a lot of people ask for it both on Instagram and here on YouTube, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys an update. It's been a few weeks since I got my hair cut and colored, so today we're just gonna do something quick and dirty. I'm gonna show you guys my updated routine, what I've been experimenting with, the products that I use, and how much of them I'm going to use. So let's jump in. So today is wash day. It is day 6 hair, I think, that I'm rocking right now. So my hair is desperately in need of some moisture and probably a little bit of protein too, because it's been a couple of weeks since I did my last protein treatment. So first things first, we're going to wash with the Verb Clarifying Shampoo. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Not Your Mother's Naturals Royal Honey and Kalahari Desert Melon Conditioner. And finally, I'm gonna do the protein treatment by Giovanni, the Nutrafix Hair Reconstructor. This product I've been using for a couple of months now. I leave it in my hair for about 10 minutes, and within that 10 minutes, I just finger coil my hair to help retrain the curl. I rinse it out and then style as normal. So I'm gonna hop in the shower. I'll show you guys whenever I come out. Okay, so full disclosure, normally this routine would actually be done still inside the shower. But since we are not in that kind of a relationship, I'm gonna go ahead and do it out. I keep it inside the shower normally because it does make a mess, because I do this routine specifically on soaking wet hair. Sometimes I use a brush to help me out with definition. Sometimes I just use my hands. Today I'm going to go ahead and just do it with my hands because I know some of you guys still follow the curly girl method where you don't use brushes. So I wanted to take the opportunity to show you guys how to style when you don't need one. Right now, my hair is soaking wet. It is currently being wet plopped, AKA it's just in a shower cap holding in and locking in that moisture before I start styling. What I did in the shower is I did rinse out the protein treatment and the conditioner with my hair upside down to help encourage volume at the root. So the first product that we're gonna go ahead and apply is gonna be the Aveda Be Curly Style Prep. We're gonna follow that with the Flora Curl Activating Lotion. Our hold product today is gonna be the Curlsmith In Shower Style Fixer. And then for volume, I'm also using the Aveda Thickening Tonic.
Despite this not being the most flattering angle, I thought it was best to film from the side so that you could see how I actually rake and use prayer hands across my entire head. This helps ensure product distribution as well as making sure that each hair is coated and clumps are formed.
As a kitten up a tree, and I feel just holding your hand.
Okay, so now that we have all of the products applied, I have gone through and hopefully pulled apart some of the wonky bits. Part of having curly hair is just accepting the fact that there will always be wonky bits. But now what I do is I take root clips and I tug at the hair at the base, clip it up so that I can get a little bit more volume there. So I'll show you guys how I do that. Take these, I grab a piece of hair and I kind of make it into its own loop and pinch it up like that. Some people just place it at the bottom, but I found that by doing it this way and giving myself this little loop here, it gives it a more natural look instead of just looking like it's just like a little from the head. So now that the root clips are on, I just take a microfiber towel and scrunch out some of the remaining moisture. I don't want it to be too dry, but I am gonna let it air dry for a little bit before we go in with the diffuser because I want to give my hair a chance to let the gel cast set before we start blowing hot air on it. All right, so this is how I will let it set, probably for the next maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then I will come back and show you guys how I diffuse. All right, so it has been about 10 minutes. My hair is starting to set, so I'm going to go ahead and start my diffusing process. We are going to do the hover diffusing method because I've noticed that that gives me the least amount of frizz. So I'm going to start with the blow dryer on medium airflow and high heat, never letting the hair dryer actually touch my hair, but kind of hovering over it. I will say you have to be very careful when you do have root clips in because they are metal, so they will heat up. So I always try to remove at least my necklace to make sure that's a little bit lighter, but I never let it hover too long on the top of my head, and then about halfway through I take those out.
As a kitten up a tree, and I feel I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't.
Okay, so now that the roots are definitely significantly drier than the body of my hair, to get more volume and lift throughout from about like mid-ear down, I then start to pixie diffuse. So I move the heat down a notch and move the airflow down a notch, and I don't turn the diffuser on until all of my hair is already cupped and scrunched inside the diffuser. So turn it off. We gather and scrunch, and then turn it back on. Turn it off and release, and that helps eliminate frizz. Okay, so at this point, the cast is pretty well set. I can already feel my hair getting crunchier. So what I'm gonna do now to encourage body and movement is I'm gonna start flipping my hair from side to side while I diffuse it.
Look at it. kitten up a tree, and I feel I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. I get misty just holding your hand.
All right, my hair is about 95% dry. I never diffuse to 100% dry because at that point then you're just blowing hot air on already dry hair, which makes it brittle and can cause more damage. So at this point, I will let it air dry for the remaining part of the evening. Afterward, I will come back and show you guys how I scrunch out the crunch, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so now that my hair is 100% dry, and it is very crucial that you don't do this step until it is 100% dry. If you do it too soon, you actually run the risk of breaking the cast before it's actually set your curls. And when that happens, you open yourself up to a ton of frizz, lack of definition, just pretty much everything that you just worked to achieve goes out the window. So I'm gonna take a couple of drops of my absolute favorite hair oil. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it multiple times on this channel, but I am gonna use a couple drops of the Righteous Roots hair oil. Just a little bit. It's hard to see without it running off my hand. Rub it. First step is always to smooth before you scrunch.
As a kitten up a tree.
And that is it. So this is day one hair, really good volume, awesome definition. And that is my updated curly hair styling routine. So if you guys have any questions or if you guys want any clarity on it, please leave a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. You can even turn on little post notifications so that you get up-to-date info every time I post a new video. But other than that, this routine is currently how I'm essentially being myself. I'd love to know what your routine is and how you're essentially being yourself.